let's go over all the games happened on Sunday night. The first game happened on 1 p.m. Eastern, kind of early. The Clippers and the New York Knicks. Clippers got the win. Kawhi and Paul George, still pretty strong. Kawhi 11 for 11 from the free throw line. Kawhi this season, he was the number 3 guy on a per game basis. And if he just play, some back-to-backs easily, he can be easily a top 3 player. Just super efficient, 92% from the free throw line this year so far, and 50% from the field. This man is just a 8 category, even maybe 9 category. He's not a high turnovers guy either. This year his rebounding number has been down a little bit, but everything else is just really scary. A top 3 guy at the moment, and don't really see a reason why he would slow down. Serge Ibaka, 23 minutes, had another great game. Ibaka this year, where's his rank right now? 95th. He's been shooting really well from the field and from the free throw line. That really helps. He's been playing pretty well lately. Every time I look over his stats, he's been pretty strong. Patrick Patterson started, didn't really do much, while Paul George, had a great game. 1 for 8 from the 3. He's shooting he was shooting 40, 50, 90. Right? Just don't think his shooting can continue, and his steal rate has been low this season. So I'm not too high on Paul George for the rest of the season. I mean, he could, he should be a top 15 guy. What's his ranking right now? Paul George is ranked 16. Yeah, he should be around in that range. But just don't think he'll be like a couple years ago when he was in OKC, he averaged like 28 points, 2 steals. Those days are gone. He's going to be like around, average close to 25 points, maybe 23, 24. But not a lot of steals, really. That's his biggest thing. If he can get his steals up to 2, then easily like top 7, top 8. Just don't think his steals are coming back in. I don't think his shooting can continue. And let's look at Reggie Jackson. Great game, 18 points. Marcus Morris played 28 minutes. He's not doing much. Nobody on the Clippers other than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are really good. That good offense. In fantasy wise, they're just not really contributing that much at the steals and block department. Zubac, giving enough minutes, he might give you some blocks, but the minutes just can never get up to 25 with Serge Ibaka healthy. And on the Knicks side, Reggie Bullock came back, 26 minutes, didn't really do much. You don't even want to stream him for threes. There's way better options out there. Julius Randle, 35 minutes, 27 points, just another strong game. 5 for 6 from the free throw line again. Maybe this year he just turned into a good free throw shooter. I don't know. The defensive stats are not there, but that's already strong enough. Great efficiency from the field, 27 points. It was a minus 17 though. While Mitchell Robinson played 30 minutes, 1 block. This guy, the more minutes he played, the fewer blocks he get. The lower minutes he played, the more blocks he get. It just that's the pattern I've been noticing lately. A minus 3 though. Hopefully give you more blocks and stay out of foul trouble. RJ continued, another 23 points, 2 steals, great efficient again. If you play like this, you just have to keep rostering him, right? The volume stats is there. Alfred Payton, you can really drop him. 20 minutes, didn't really do anything. 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Let's talk about Emmanuel quickly a little bit. He, if your team is doing really well, you want to take a flyer on him. He might be freed later on the season. This guy has such high usage, right? 27 minutes, took 16 shots. 5 for 6, a really good free throw shooter as well. But for the season, he, after, he's ranked 172nd for the season, averaging 12 points, 93% from the free throw line, right? So it just shows he's a really good free throw shooter. That might give you some value in 12-team league. Just at the moment his minutes really up and down. This game he played 27. Maybe the very next game he might only play 15. So if your team is doing really well, you wanna take a flyer on him for sure. But I just don't know how consistent this would be. But there's just so many buzz around him saying that he wants this guy to start for the New York Knicks. The next game is the Jazz versus Denver Nuggets. The Jazz, the first loss in nine games. They were on a 7 or 8 game winning streak. the best team in the NBA record-wise, close to it. Donovan Mitchell came back from a concussion, 3 for 12, 1 steal is nice. Good to see him get at least 1 steal, 5 turnovers. He struggled this game, so is Mike Conley, but still give you 8 assists, 12 points, and 7 for 7 from the free throw line, right? Even though he really hurts you in some categories, but the free throw and assists, they're huge. Bogdanovic, yeah, maybe it's time to pick up this guy again. If he's shooting like this, only 29 points, but still only 13 shot attempts. Did go to free throw line 10 times. Maybe if he figured it out, but maybe just a mirage. 1 or 2 good games, he will drop off. Royce O'Neal had a pretty decent game, 4 for 4, made all 4 for 4 of his shots. You can grab this guy for mainly rebound, assists, a little bit assists, steals, and blocks. So he's not gonna make this many threes every game. Derek Favors played. This guy is a streamer for rebound, field goal, and blocks. In 20 minutes, he give you decent streaming value if they do have a back-to-back. Joe Ingles came off the bench. Yeah, you can. I'm not really interested in him anymore. And Jordan Clarkson took 11 threes, 13 points here, 4 threes, block. He still should be like a top 60, 70 guy moving forward. And then on the Denver Nuggets side, Jokic, after this game, he's got to be number 1, right? In the rankings, yeah, he's number 1 in the rankings. He's just so good this season. 47 points, 2 steals, a block. The assist numbers has been down a little bit. He's only averaging 8.6 now because he decided to take way more shots, shooting 57% from the field, 84%. If you draft this guy in the 7th or 8th spot, you're probably winning the league. At least currently winning. I don't know if Jokic can sustain this all season. Maybe at some point, he wants to take a back seat, but if not, he should really be easily a top 3, maybe number 1 guy, maybe. Kat and Kawhi at the moment they're somewhat close on a per game basis, and KD's also right there. Will Barton and Paul Millsap. Will Barton had a decent game, played 38 minutes, and very interestingly, but Paul Millsap only 22. You can't really, those 2 guys you can stream them, but not too interesting. Garrett Harris 8 minutes. He got hurt, left the game, so next game there will be more minutes open up for Michael Porter Jr. and Monty Morris. Michael Porter Jr. again, only 20 minutes here. I think it's a great buy low. Just with such low minutes, Michael Porter Jr. is still ranked 23rd. He's giving you 1.2 steals and 0.9 blocks, but shooting 56%. I don't think that he can do this all season, but for sure he can average those defensive stats, and he can average those the free throw 83%. Sure, right? The biggest thing is like his turnover rate is so low. He's only averaging 1.3. Right? This guy just really doesn't really turn the ball over. He's not gonna get you a lot of assists, but just almost no turnover. And his scoring average should also go up. Only at 16.6. I think he can probably average 18, 19, maybe close to 20. And that's on if Mike Malone wanted to play him, this high minutes. Monty Morris, you can definitely stream him with. They do have a back-to-back with Garrett Harris out. He can probably push up his minutes up to 30. The next game is the Philadelphia Sixers and Indiana Pacers. Sixers got the win without Joel Embiid. That's the worry with Joel Embiid, is that maybe this year on a per game basis he can be top 7, top 8, but he just sits out so many games. They still want to preserve him in the playoffs. So without him, Tony Bradley started 17 minutes. If you stream this guy, it's really somewhat disappointing. Minus 16, only 4 rebounds. Usually in 20 minutes, you grab your 8-9 rebound and a block 1 or 2 shots. Dwight Howard played 25 minutes, grabbed 15 rebound and 2 blocks. So Dwight give you what you want from him. So maybe you want to pick over Dwight over Tony Bradley. They played the Pacers, was pretty. They got 2 big guys inside. Danny Green 21 minutes. You can just not enough minutes even without Joel Embiid. You can't forget about him. Tobias Harris 30 minutes. Another great game. No steals, but a block is nice. Seth Curry, yeah, he just fell off. 25 minutes here, didn't really shoot the ball well. 3 for 9, 1 for 4 from the 3, 9 points. Yeah, that's the worry with Seth Curry. After this game, he's ranked. Where is he ranked? He's ranked 69th. Right, 14 point. After this game, he's still shooting 53% from the field. Yeah, if you can sell this guy for like a DeAndre Hunter, I think I would do it. I just don't think Seth Curry can can be this good with this level of high efficiency. But it's not like Hunter's value come from other categories. It's also mainly the efficiency. But there's a greater chance that Hunter can continue doing what he does versus Seth Curry. He's only a 3-point specialist, right? Give you a little bit of scoring and threes and crazy good efficiency, but nothing else at all. And then obviously no turnovers for this guy. 1.3 turnovers so far this season. So if you're playing in 9 category leagues, sometimes turnovers get overlooked. Just guys like that, like it's like a Jeremy Lamb a couple years ago, who was a top 50 player, but the biggest category for Jeremy Lamb was the free throw, right? And this year for Seth Curry, his biggest category is actually the free throw. But if any top 50 guy whose best category is a turnover, you kind of want to reevaluate, you know, when you trade for this guy or whatever, because a lot of value is from the turnover part. Ben Simmons had one of his best games of the, you know, his steal numbers was kind of low to begin up to start off the season. Now it's fully back up, 4 steals and 2 blocks. Yeah, he should be averaging 2 steals. I believe this guy should average 2 steals. Like whereas guys like OG, I don't know he can average 2. Ben Simmons, like I can't see him easily average 2. Maybe OG can do it this year. We'll see. Dwight Howard, yeah, had a pretty good game. Matisse Thybulle, 25 minutes, 4 steals and 2 blocks. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on this guy, Matisse Thybulle. If he has 25-30 minutes, watch out. But really, Joel Embiid is out, so everybody gets more wrong. And they did play impressive getting 4 steals when they play the Pacers. And on the Pacers side, Justin Holiday, this guy just gets huge minutes every game, and really don't turn the ball over. So that's one nice thing about him. He give you some defense, especially steals. Got you 3 here. That's already. You can roster him if you need, you know, good efficiency, as in like low turnover, good, you know, somewhat good free throw, some rebound, and some steals. Steals should be his best category, right? Sabonis, another actually a somewhat bad game for him. In his standard, 21 points is fine, but only 8 rebounds. The man is average 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 turnovers. Miles Turner kind of maybe this is his worst game of the season so far. 1 for 6, only 9 points. 9 points is fine. I'm perfectly okay. 6 for 6 from the free throw line. 9 rebound, a steal and a block. Really strong game. And Jeremy Lamb, 12 points, 4 for 6, made 2 threes and 3 blocks. Yeah, at the moment he's playing really well. And playing 30 minutes, you want to roster him for sure. While Malcolm Brogdon, is this guy gonna cool down? I think if he stays healthy, the points and assists, I have no problem with his points and assists. It's just what's his ranking after this game? After this game, he's ranked. He's ranked 20th after this game. I think he should be a top 35 player, right? He's still averaging 1.4 steals. Once the 1.4 steals go back to, I don't know, 0.8, he'll be like around the 30 range, I think. He can keep up what he's been doing. It's just the steal numbers are just too high. And he's also hitting 3 threes a game. That's also kind of high. Playing 37 minutes. Well, I think he's still sell high. If you can get a Zach LaVine for him, obviously Zach LaVine is ranked 13th at the moment. If you can get I would trade him for like a Jimmy Butler, right? No worries there. Although Jimmy Butler did come back, his battle window might be closing. I would trade him for Jeremy Grant even. TJ McConnell in 25 minutes, yeah. Anytime you need assists and steals, and maybe he's worth picking up in 12 teams in category leagues because he gives you so many assists and steals. Really help you, a big boost in those 2 categories. He did exactly that. I don't even care about the 9 points. It's just the assists and the steals are really valuable. All right, let's go on to the Orlando Magic and Toronto Raptors. Orlando, they got a lot of injuries going on, so Vucevic is taking 20 shots a game. Didn't really shoot the ball well against the Raptors. 15 points, minus 20. So this game is a blowout, so I wouldn't worry too much about all the production from all the key guys. Well, Vucevic still played 35 minutes though. 15 and 14, 2 steals and a block. Yeah, a bad game for him, but filled up the stat sheet though. 2 steals and block, four assists. That's good enough. While Evan Fournier struggled, he kind of shooting the ball. He was really shooting the ball really. What's Evan Fournier's rank? He should be a top 100 guy. Pretty comfortable. Yeah, he's 88. He should be around that range. 17 points, sure. 2.3, yeah, sure. He's there's not one category that just he really pops out. But he's like if you need some scoring and threes, he really give you that. He may not be as good as a Jordan Clarkson, but like the counting stats are there. Maybe not as efficient as a Jordan Clarkson, right? Cole Anthony, 32 minutes, had another great game, 6 assists. At this point, you gotta pick him up and see where he goes. He has had like back-to-back 6 assist games, so that's good to see. Even though they got kind of blown out. Aaron Gordon, 14 points, yeah, one steal. Efficiency was okay, but did not have the best game. Nobody on this team did. While Terrence Ross had another rough game, a minus 22, 1 for 5. You still want to roster him. He will be better, and he was giving you guys like, giving his owners good defensive stats for the week. On the Raptors side, Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet, just identical numbers, took 13 and 12 shots each. I worry about Lowry's minutes, but dished out 15 assists, which is crazy. 2 steals, a huge game from Lowry, right? As long as the Raptors are winning, Lowry is gonna produce. He's ranked 52nd, right? He should be maybe in the top 40 range. This year he's 17.6. Yeah, he should average 18, 19 points. Like the 2.5 threes, yeah, 2.8 threes. That's fine. I mean, it's pretty around his average, over the years. The biggest drop of his steals, 0.9 steals. I worry about his steals. He's getting another year older, while Fred VanVleet should give you a lot of steals. Fred VanVleet currently this year is ranked 27th. Yeah, he should be around that range. This guy is a big, I believe this guy can give you, if he's averaging 1.7 steals, yeah, he can definitely do that. Like maybe 1.8, maybe even a bit higher, 1.8, 1.9. I'm only saying this based on what he did last year, right? Obviously, just looking at the historical stats. This year, things could obviously change. Shooting 40%, that's kind of low. Maybe he can do a little bit better than that. But the assist numbers and the steal numbers is really, really valuable. And he's giving you 0.6 blocks this season, interestingly. Right? So just strong. Fred VanVleet will be fine this year. Even if they are struggling, maybe out the playoffs, he's young. He should be playing huge minutes. Siakam had another huge game, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals and a block. Maybe a battle window for him is close, but I don't expect Siakam to be this good all season. I really view him as maybe a top 50 or 60 guy. Right? He's ranked 80, so maybe a buy low. This year his efficiency is just really low, 45% and 77% from the free throw line. Maybe both categories can improve. Alright, everything else looks okay. And let's talk about Chris Boucher just a little bit. Only played 18 minutes. Didn't really block a shot, and he didn't really block any shots this week. Right? You still hold on to him. If you can trade him for like a top 50 guy, if any owner is really likes him and think because this guy does have like a top 20 player upside for sure. There were a 4-game stretch. He's probably like ranked number 5 or number 6, averaging 2.5 blocks, a 20-10. The problem with him is just depending on the matchup, he still struggles out there. He put up good fantasy lines, but just not good. Maybe in real life, Coach Nick Nurse doesn't really trust him yet. But the guy's upside is too high to ever drop him. Right? Even in 18-20 minutes, he's worth rostering. He didn't give you any blocks here, but usually he'll give you a block too. That's already good enough. So you do not ever drop him. But if you're getting frustrated with him, you just want to get rid of him, and you don't need those blocks, sure, you can trade it for somebody else. I would only trade him for maybe a top 50 or 60 player. For 80 player, it's not really worth it. Right? The upside is too high. And then the next game is the Brooklyn Nets and Washington Wizards. Crazy to see Wizards get a win like this. This game did not go to overtime, so the fact that they scored 149 points is just absolutely insane. And that's what without James Harden. Hopefully Harden is just a 1-game absence. So with Harden out, Joe Harris got 30 points. So Joe Harris is worth rostering. It seems like the big three, they're just gonna take nights off. Like rotating. I don't know if it's Harden is a legit injury or not, but KD and Kyrie they're gonna take rest. They're gonna take rest. So Joe Harris, sure, if you want threes and some points, same thing with Jeff Green. Those five guys will get the most minutes, right? Jeff Green, Joe Harris, Kate, and the big three: KD, Kyrie, and Harden. So for Jeff Green and Joe Harris, you can stream both of them, to be honest, for some efficiency and some points and threes. Jeff Green actually filled up the stat sheet. He hasn't been a good defensive guy, getting those defensive stats. In so many years, still in 2 blocks here, but it won't happen again. Kyrie and KD really not much to talk about. KD is a top 5 guy easily. The biggest thing with him is he's not getting the defensive stats, and this year he seems to be getting it, right? He's averaging 0.8 steals. It's still bad, but 1.54 blocks is really strong, right? 52, like he can do. I don't know if you average 31 points, maybe the scoring might drop a little bit. But so far, Harden coming over did not really affect both Kyrie and KD. Those guys are still strong. Kyrie is 6th ranked, right? Another 50%. Kyrie is shooting 52.5% and 94% from the free throw. The free throw maybe high 80s, not 95, and the field goal maybe 48, 49. But it's not far. Both guys are really strong. Bruce Brown. Maybe this guy is worth streaming whenever Harden or Kyrie is out. And DeAndre Jordan is tough at the moment to hold him. Only played 19 minutes. He's probably just going to play 20 minutes every game. Got you 8 rebounds, so that's still good, and a block. But it's really not, you can't really hold him. You can't stream him though. On the Wizards side, Bradley Beal and Westbrook. Let's talk about Westbrook a little bit. This might be a sell high moment. Honestly, so it really depends on what your team needs. If your team can't deal with his bad efficiency, this game obviously he shot 20 shots, 57%, and Westbrook said like, oh well, I finally start feeling better, right? 41 points. This is obviously the best game, his best game of the season so far. But just the 57% is not gonna continue. Maybe he will shoot a low 70. But just know that he will hurt your, 3 efficiency categories. And if you're a team efficiency after this game, it will be a perfect time to try to trade him, right? You're not gonna get that's the thing. You're not gonna get a top 20 player. I mean, the best is maybe a top 30. Like, would anybody trade him for, I don't know, like a Fred VanVleet, a Jeremy Grant? Maybe some teams. So it really depends on your team build, right? Because he hurts you so many categories so much, and he just, let's see, maybe he has another few games try to sell him high, right? Or maybe he figured it out. But if your team is pounding turnovers, right, you can, or maybe field goal. If you're pounding 2 of the categories, sure, like he's valuable on your team because the counting stats are there, right? Bradley Beal 23 shots. This is probably the first time someone on his team took more shots than him. 37 points. Like I said, I expect Beal to be a top 5, top 6 player just because the volume is there. His rank right now is 10. Maybe not top 5 or top 6. I would count out McCollum, right? I would count out Miles Turner. So like he'll be 8th, 7th or 8th. It's very possible he'll be better than James Harden and Steph Curry. And I think he's probably on the same level with Kyrie. Maybe he'll be better than Joel Embiid, to be honest, because this guy doesn't get really hurt. He's gonna play all the games, and Wizards has some games to make up for. And he and Westbrook just have, if they want, they just have all the usage on this team. They should just get everything. They should get all the rebound, all the assists, all the points, all the shot attempts, right? The rest of the team, Rui Hachimura came back, just had a bad game. You can't really just move on from him. Robin Lopez, he's the starting center, but doesn't matter. He won't grab those rebounds, and he won't have a lot of opportunities to even score, right? Dan Yadvia started 15 minutes. You can't forget about him. And Davis Bertans hit 3 threes, nothing else. If you need threes and, if you need a big man that shoot threes, sure, he's a perfect match. But I just don't know if he can offer anything other than threes. Mainly a stream guy, in my opinion. Ish Smith actually had quite a good game. Coming off the bench, 13 points and 7 assists. Oh man, if Wizards can start winning some games, that would be good, especially for Westbrook and Beal owners. If they're in the playoff hunt, yeah, sure, they're gonna run those 2 guys down to the ground, play them high minutes. The last game of the night is Cleveland Cavaliers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Andre Drummond played 32 minutes here, while Allen played 15. So Drummond is obviously the better option here, like better option in fantasy. He will play more minutes. Some nights they both play 25, 24, 25, and some nights Drummond played 33. He's still the starting center on this team. 22 rebounds. That's what I was saying. Like, try to buy a low on this guy. I still think this guy, even in 25 minutes, he's gonna put up such huge stats. 4 assists, a steal and block, just monster numbers, and shot the ball quite well. And Jared Allen, it's really tough. 4 for 5, 10 points, 5 rebounds. What can you do? You can't drop him because the upside is too high. It's like a Chris Boucher, but obviously Chris Boucher is better than Allen because a better free throw, he hits threes, more scoring, right, and more blocks even. But Jared Allen, if he gets 25 minutes, he might just be a top 50, top 60 player. So it's hard. The situation is frustrating. Colin Sexton and Darius Garland had pretty identical stat. 16, 17 points to 15 shot attempts around. Well, Darius Garland, this guy give you more assists and then Sexton, but Sexton should score more, right? Sexton had quite an empty line, 16 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, and nothing else. Larry Nance Jr., yeah, 2.2. He was averaging 2.2 steals. Just not sustainable. I understand he's probably not 100%, and Kevin Love is coming back very, very soon. His sell high window is closing. He grabbed 16 rebounds. So if you can sell him high for DeAndre Hunter, I would do it. This guy, his run is over. His run is over. Isaiah Okoro, not too interested in him. And on the Timberwolves side, D'Lo, he didn't really do much at all last game. 14 points, really empty. In this game again, pretty empty, but hit 5 threes. He really helped me out. Actually, I was gonna lose, but somehow this guy hit 5 threes and I was able to win the matchup. 19 points, 5 assists, but nothing else. Well, Malik Beasley, he's pretty much other than the assists, he and D'Lo, there's no difference. Maybe D'Lo gets some a little more steals, but their stats are really identical at the moment. So you don't want to roster Malik Beasley. Ed Davis with what's his name, Naz Reid out. Ed Davis started, didn't do much. Well, Gerald Vanderbilt, in 25 minutes, he's giving you good enough value. The assists and the steals and blocks is just too good, and good efficiency. Barely 3 turnovers here, -11. He didn't really have a good game in real life, but they got the win. The Timberwolves, I saw it on Reddit. When they were 2-2, Ricky Rubio said, "We're much worse than a 2-2 team," and then they lost 10 straight. They were 2-12. After this game, they're 3-12, 3-12. Don't know when Karl Anthony Towns is back. It's been 2 weeks. He should be back next week. Anthony Edwards, if you need some points, sure, you can grab him. But I just don't know if Cat comes back. Can he? If he can play 30 minutes every night, sure, he's worth rostering. But you have to know that his field goal is going to be low, and he's going to commit a lot of turnovers as well. And that's it for all the games on Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.